Yes, indeed, folks, you listen to Blue Please here on CynicalBrits.com with myself, Total Biscuit. Let's read a few more of these 5-man suggestions before we go on and talk a little bit about why you cannot have an X-53 touring rocket. Yes, indeed, right, so here we go. Out of all the 5-man bosses in Wrath, I would choose King Yimmeron of the Utgard Pinnacle to be made into a raid encounter. As a raid boss, when he starts channeling energy from the Vrykul graves in his throne room, if the raid takes too long to DPS him, he starts a hard enrage that increases his damage and attack speed by 200%, essentially allowing him to wipe the raid. Also, he would have 2 Vrykul bodyguards fighting with him, sort of like a Nubra Khan, when he has 2 Crypt Fiends with him in 25-man necks, and using various warrior-style abilities such as Rend, Whirlwind, and Intercept. They would also buff Yimmeron with Battle Shout and debuff the raid with demoralizing, intimidating shouts, thus making it important to kill them first. Yimmeron's Dark Slash ability would now become a cleaving ability and hit the tank and others for 75% of their health, so the healer would have to heal them very quickly before they got killed. His Fetid Rot ability would now inflict even more damage every 2 seconds for a total of 10 seconds and decrease healing received by 50%. The abilities he gains from channeling energy from the Greys would do more damage as well. On top of this, his Bain ability will no longer be dispellable or spell stealable, and players will no longer be able to break out of Screams of the Dead. Nice, interesting. I like that. That's well thought out. Excellent. Alright, let's see what else we've got. A lot of these I can't read out because they're so long. Oh, God. Okay, let's... someone else actually said. Blood Guzzler also thinks King Yimmeron as well. Here's one from Mandrabel. I would like to see Loken turned into a raid boss because for being the Prime Protector of Azeroth, he was not exactly given his fair share of time and power. Now, I think we killed him in 28 seconds a few days ago. The first thing that would need to happen is that his Nova would actually need to matter. No one seems to run out of it anymore. Yeah, because it doesn't kill you. Who cares? It's a non-lethal boss mechanic, ladies and gents. Who talked about that, I wonder? So there needs to be some incentive to actually run out of it. Solution to this is simple. The Nova instantly kills you. That includes the tank, and Loken will follow the tank even when he's casting Nova. What this will require... Try again. What this... Oh, God. What this will require... Arr! Yes, it will require arr! Piracy! Arr! What this will require is a last stand on the part of the tank, whatever mechanic pertains to each class, so that he can survive the Nova with 1 health. This will put the strain on the healers, who will need more major heals on him as soon as the Nova happens. It's really difficult to balance that, to have him end at 1 health. Why don't you just make the Nova impact the tank, and will take him down to 1 health regardless of HP? So maybe it puts a debuff on the guy with the highest threat, and it'll keep him alive, but only just. There, try that. And then they've got to quickly flash heal him before his next swing. Something retarded like that, that would work. Anyway, certainly there needs to be something semi-annoying to deal with the interim period. Blood of Yogg-Saron should spawn during this time at the edge of the Nova's range. These do an AoE to everyone in the Nova range, meaning the tank will die if the range doesn't kill these things. Anyone that doesn't DPS them, i.e. melee, healers, and the tank, will have a curse put on them that reduces damaging and healing done by 50%. Druids and mages will be of help here. I have decurse, don't I? Yeah, I haven't used it in a very long time. See, we got a druid for that. Man. There's some homogenization. Take my decurse away. Give it to the druid so I don't have to do it anymore. Of course, the major AoE damage, so says Mandrabel, to the entire group will go on throughout the fight just to piss off the healers. More damage is done the farther you are away from Loken, forcing everyone to stay close when there's no Nova. This also makes the melee not so obsolete in this fight, since they will be at least likely to leave Loken's side. Every 6 seconds, Loken will absorb all healing done for 3 seconds, forcing healers to manage their cast times efficiently. Wow, that sounds brutal. I would play that fight, that would be pretty fun. Right, we'll read some more out as we go along over the show. In the meantime, we have things to do, people to see. I'm going to be talking about, well, stuff, really. So, there is a brand new mount coming in. Yes, indeed, a Munt. And this Munt is a rocket, and unlike the X-51 or X-52 Nether rocket, this is the X-53 touring rocket. It has not 1, but 2 seats, and on those seats you can sit. It's a multi-passenger flying mount. It is the first of its kind, and it is not entirely unsurprising. We actually saw a leak of this on MMO Champions some time ago, but up until a few days ago, we had no idea how we were actually going to get it. We do now. It is a new reward for the Recruiter Friend system. Yes, indeed. Now, previously, there was a reward for this system in the form of the Zevra mount. However, the Zevra mount was only gotten by the guy who recruited, as opposed to the recruitee, the newbie, the novice, the apprentice, as it were, the young apprentice. They didn't get a horsey, which was kind of mean, honestly. And since Ghost Crawler did in fact promise me both a horsey and a pony, I feel that this is grounds for a lawsuit. In the meantime, however, let's talk about the rocket. The thing that makes the rocket much, much better for RAF is quite simple. You can't fit 2 people on the unicorn, horsey, zebra thing. Yes, you can't do it. Because you are too fat. It would cause the horse to collapse in on itself. It would be horrendous. Cruelty to animals. Ugh, horrible. However, the rocket has sufficient lift and horsepower to get not 1 but 2 of your WoW-playing arses on it. Yes, indeed. Now, the best thing about this is the potential for griefing. So I'm going to pick up a newbie, and I'm going to give him a taxi ride straight into the middle of the ocean. It'll be absolutely fantastic. Oh, look! I just decast it and dropped you in the middle of the ocean. How unpleasant. Of course, this only really works for things like druids who can engage flight form mid-air. Otherwise, you yourself end up in the ocean as well, and then you just look silly. I used to do that in PlanetSide, actually. I used to pick up people in a galaxy dropship, fly them over an ocean, and then drop everyone from the galaxy dropship. It was the best thing, best form of griefing. So you can now do this in WoW. That is incredibly important, in my honest opinion. Indeed. I suppose you can do it before with those big mammoth things. Maybe take a couple of level 5s, take them all the way through to a really nasty place like the Eastern Plaguelands and drop them there and let them fend for themselves. Level 5, you should aggro things probably within a 5-mile radius. It'll be great. I'm sorry, I'm mean and unreasonable. No, wait a minute, I'm not sorry at all. What are you talking about? Now, there is drama regarding this particular mount, ladies and gents, because WoW players are WoW players and will complain and cry about everything that they cannot get. So there are various arguments. The first of which is that, and the second of which is, Now, there are certain other arguments that I could state, but I'd rather talk about first. Oh, wait, that was the third argument, wasn't it? No, the second argument is You need to understand, these are very different arguments, and they should be both dealt with separately and given appropriate airtime. So let's talk about first. So is in fact the argument that I already have done RAF, or I already recruited a friend, and I took my Zevra, why can't I have a touring rocket? Ladies and gentlemen, the reason for that is really quite simple, honestly. Let me talk about why you cannot have an X-53 touring rocket. Because you already have a Zevra. But why can't I trade it in? Because you took up an offer about a year or so ago that offered a Zevra. You accepted this offer at face value, and you fulfilled the terms of this offer, and you received the advertised reward. That is why. Now, people say, it's unfair. Yeah, they actually say it in that voice as well. It's horrible. It really is. It's very annoying. It's like nails on a chalkboard. You chose to do RAF then, and you accepted the terms at the time. Do you not understand the concept that over time, offers will change? Are you the guys that used to annoy me when I used to work in game? When I used to whine that 4 months down the line, well, this was on sale, or no, why am I only getting $2, or indeed £2, for FIFA 2005? I bought it for £40. Yeah, you bought it for £40 2 years ago. It's stupid. It really is. Why do you not understand the concept? It's really simple, honestly. It really is. Offers will change. You accept what it is at the time. It's as simple as that. So, something cool's come along. Okay, great. That's nifty, isn't it? If you want it, you're going to have to fulfill the terms of the offer. Simple as that. It's the same kind of people that whined when the price of epic flyers and epic mounts went down. Oh, but why can't I get a refund? Because you bought it at the price at the time that was reasonable and expected and advertised, and you accepted that offer. End of story. All sales are final. Ugh. Honestly. Caveat bloody emptor. Terrible. There is so much whining and complaining about this, it is a disgrace. But pro tip, by the way, to anyone that hasn't cashed in their Zevra mount, keep a hold of this, and you'll be able to trade it in for an X-53 when they actually release these things. Now, there was other whining as well. It's like, oh, why should this be a RAF reward? It's the first ever flying mount with multiple passenger seats. Okay, guys, seriously. When was the last time that Blizzard brought a gimmick into the game and then didn't milk the hell out of it? Oh yeah, never. There will be multiple, yes, multiple simultaneous, defensive simultaneous, devastating simultaneous defensive flying mounts with multiple seats. I can guarantee it. I guarantee it. I will put money down on it right now that there will be multiple mounts at Cataclysm that will do that. In fact, they might even get there before Cataclysm. I mean, for God's sake, you got 6 months. The mechanics there, it works, it's fine, it's cool. Now, this is designed, of course, so that you can ferry people around in Cataclysm. Makes absolute perfect sense, considering you're going to be able to fly around the old world. Yes, having a multiple-person flying mount suddenly becomes a big deal. Multiple-person mounts are pointless right now. Really, they're not very good at all. However, multiple-person flying mounts, it's a different matter entirely. It really is. It allows you to get into places that other mounts cannot reach. It'll be very good. Now, of course, I'll be claiming my Nether Rocket because I didn't claim my Zevra. But it's nice to see that they're bringing in an RAF reward that can actually be used by both of the people that do the RAF. Now, honestly, I think that both of them should get the mount. But I'm okay with the compromise of, here's a mount that both of you can ride around on. That's neat. That's cool. I'm okay with it. Admittedly, it's kind of weird that flying mounts are what? Usable at level 60? Right, and that's as far as RAF goes. But I suppose the idea is that since RAF does not extend to 80, you want to make it as easy as possible to go on from there. It sounds reasonable to me, honestly. Now, one of the other neat things as well is that this mount, since it's extremely cool looking and it's got great functionality, actually scales with the speed of the mounts you have available. So, if you have a 310, I believe it's 310, isn't it? If you have a really fast mount, it will scale to that. But otherwise, it will scale to the speed of the flying mount that you've got at the time. That's pretty neat. But the crying and the whining about this is absolutely absurd. I mean, really, let's go and have a look at the forums. Forum field trip, ladies and gentlemen. Forums.wirelesseurope.com. There is a thread about this. It's stickied. It's called New Recruiter Friend Mount coming soon. Let's have a look. Let's scroll down. Let's find some whining. I'm sure there will be. The first page is relatively less bad than the rest of it. Let's see. Any crying? No. First page is good. Good. Cry-free on the first page. No. There we go. Yep. Cry down at the bottom. Peace Moon. When are you going to reward your existing customers? I play with my boyfriend, and we would love a two-seated flying mount, since autofollow rarely works when flying. And no, we are not sad enough to recruit a fictional friend just to obtain a two-seated flying mount. Yeesh, it almost feels like a big scam watching people make new accounts just for this. How is that a big scam, you idiot? It's like, oh, if you buy another account, you're eligible for Recruit a Friend. It's been like this for a year! More than that, in fact. And when did they actually bring in the RAF system? I can't remember, but whatever the case, it was at least a year ago. Probably longer than that. It's a big scam? Oh, come off it. I read the whining about the RAF back at the start. It's like, oh, but why are they allowed to do this? Ladies and gents, Blizzard have an try it again. Blizzard have an ulterior motive, and that ulterior motive is to get you to buy more boxes and pay more account fees. Now, at least with this one, you're actually getting something tangible. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is that this system was designed to take a huge chunk out of RNT. Why power level when there's a service in the game that allows you to do it legitimately and gives you a bunch of cool rewards? Why power level? Well, there's no reason. Just do it yourself. Just buy a box. The box is like, what, £8? Less than that? You don't even have to pay for the month. Comes in the box. It's really easy. It's a good system. It's a good way to level. It revitalizes the leveling process. I don't believe that people will turn around and say, oh, it's a big scam. Oh, it's so bad that people are doing this. What, so bad that people are making the leveling? Yes, the leveling, which is really dull, a little bit less dull? Ugh. Dear Lord. Now, of course, there's also complaining about the fact that RAF is not available in the country in question. I get that. I mean, that sucks. Don't get me wrong. But it's not Blizzard's fault that your country has terrible laws. I'm sorry. It isn't. The complaining and the whining and the conspiracy theories about this are absurd. I read one that said, I want the real reason why this is. Don't give me any of that legal stuff. What, don't give you the actual reason? Oh, right, you'd like some kind of placebo, perhaps. Okay, the real reason is that Blizzard hates you and your currency. Indeed, and your entire country, everybody in it, regardless of whether or not they play WoW. They have a completely irrational hatred of your nationality. Just yours, nobody else's. Let's ignore the fact that, of course, there are other countries with other legal systems that have problems with it. Let's ignore that, because, of course, that can't be right. No, Blizzard has a grudge against me and you. Specifically you. Actually, it's not the rest of your country, it's just you. They hate you. They despise you. They have been working for the past 5 years to undermine your enjoyment and fun at every possible corner and opportunity. That is the reasonable way of looking at it. That is the real story behind it. Yeah, it's not, you know, Occam's razor-friendly, oh, there are legal problems. No, it's going to be a big conspiracy, because we are self-absorbed, entitled morons. God. My name is Total Biscuit, you're listening to Blue Please, here on CynicalBrit.com. I'll be back after this. Would you like some demons and wizards, a fiddler on the green, perhaps? Well, you're getting it anyway. I'll be back after this, so I'm going to talk about a little bit of Imbecile of the Week. Ah, yes. A little bit of whining on the subject of, why do you ask me to speed up in heroics? I wonder. Enjoy.